Hello, you're listening to On the Topic. Well, this week we're going to the vault to kick off spooky season.
Oh, we are.
I'm Dan.
Yeah, and I'm going to be walking around with a boulder on my back. But why? Well, I'm not going to tell you. You have to work it out listening to the episode. A boulder.
Hunchback of Notre Dame?
No. It's one of your stories.
It is.
I'm Alex. And yeah, spooky season is now upon us. It's been a whole year, Dan, and listener.
Can't believe it.
So you had the last one.
Flown by.
It really has. So we had spooky season formally for the first time last year. And we had back-to-back episodes every week, as you might expect, of a Halloween theme. And they were really good. We had things that happened in the local area. We had interviews with Southern Ghost Society. We had loads of bits and pieces. Well, this year, we start off with the vault. And the reason being is because it nicely leads into the next 3 episodes for the rest of the month. And it's a corker, Dan, this one.
It is. So we take you across Portsmouth and the surrounding areas to some of our most haunted locations, and we got some recommendations from our listeners as well to research at the time. This episode came out in 2022, but it's nice that you touched upon previous episodes, Alex.
Yeah.
We can do a small recap.
Oh, let's do it.
So we've got OTT episode 6, which was our personal experiences.
Yes.
OTT 35, where we took you across the UK for some haunted locations.
That was a really good one.
Of course, this episode, which I think was way back in OTT 61.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
But hey, we've brought it forward for you.
Okay, yeah, we have,
Enjoy.
yeah. So, yeah, if you haven't listened to it originally, or if you have, but it's been a while, it's been a hot minute, then it's a really good episode. I mean, for me, it's always nice to hear about the local area, and you got some really good local stories and folk legends, which, you know, transcend not just paranormal phenomena, but actually local legend and folklore, which I think is really interesting.
If you want a bit of, I guess you sort of see both sides. OTT 94 from 2023, we had Dan and Andy from Southern Ghost Society.
Yep.
Where we sort of talked a little bit about, experiences as well as technology and the sort of a bit of science behind it, and hopefully we'll get them back on again towards the end of the month.
Yes.
And then last year we did 4 episodes. We had 124, which is Halloween traditions. That was a really good episode.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, lots of Day of the Deads. And
yeah.
Did we talk about the tribe in South America who ate the brains of their long dearly departed?
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, it's grim. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
No offence to people, but that is grim. But hey, it's interesting enough. It has since, this is now an update from that episode, it's since been outlawed by the country, I guess, because outside people, which is a bit of a shame, I guess, if you're the ones who believe and celebrate this, celebrate with inverted commas, because it's still gross. It's a bit of a shame that people have kind of influenced that culture, but they have outlawed it. It's still illegal, but in some far-flung communities that perhaps the authorities don't quite get to see, but they think they still do it, which is really fascinating.
Interesting.
But there's loads of those kind of things in that episode that we talk about that happen all across the world, traditions and belief systems, and it's really good.
A lot of
episode.
it's quite light-hearted as well, which I think shocked both of us.
Light-hearted as much as it wasn't dour, depressing, sad. No, it wasn't. It was actually the opposite. It was celebrating life through death. Yeah, really fascinating. I think I seem to recall now, we came away oddly optimistic and felt quite light and not actually quite depressed and scared, which probably should have been. That was the tone we were going for, but it surprised us, which was really good. It was a really good episode. Yeah.
Well, we did shit our pants the following week with true horror stories. Some really odd stuff, like an Elsa from Ice, from
Frozen.
From Frozen, yeah. That kept reappearing after being binned and
then driven across the states to be dropped off at someone's house.
We did a bit of role playing in that, didn't we?
Oh, that's good.
It's quite funny.
Yeah, love a role play.
And then 126, we went around the world, so we explored various haunted locations across Europe, America. Why is it always the Americans that get the really batshit crazy,
the gnarly stuff?
Like
And they got the least amount of history.
Like the Elsa doll.
No offence to them, but they've got literally no history, but yet they've got all of the ghosts. Whereas this country has got bags of history, and all we have are haunted locations, which we'll talk about coming up, but also in the next couple of weeks. But we don't seem to have half as many sightings or instances as much as they do.
No.
It's really odd.
And then lastly, episode 127 and 128, parts 1 and part 2 of SGS, where we had Dan back on the show. And he brought along his brother Lee and Michael.
Yeah, really good.
And Dan and Michael will be reappearing
next week.
Yeah, on our investigation.
Yeah,
I nearly spoiled it then. Nearly did the Tom Holland.
I know.
Nearly spoiled it for our audience. We'll do it as a surprise, but it does sort of. I say this episode ties quite nicely into it. I won't give too much away, but you can guess.
Listen closely, listener.
Yeah, it'll be one of these locations we talked about 3 years ago.
But if you're wondering and you haven't listened to this episode and this is the first time, you're in for an absolute treat. We've got ghostly apparitions who are featuring in church. We have Spring-Heeled Jack who's bouncing around the top of cathedrals. We've got ghostly goings on in nearby Portchester Castle. We've got sad German wives who are flinging themselves into the sea, and lots more. But it's a really interesting episode where Dan essentially just delves headfirst into local folklore and ghost legend, and it's a really light-hearted, fascinating episode. I really enjoyed it.
And rumour has it you've not slept very well since these episodes?
No.
Since?
No, I look the part. So yeah, strap yourselves in, turn on the lights, because it gets a bit spooky around here as we kick off our spooky season for 2025 with a splendid Vault episode. Should we dive in?
Let's do it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Topic. This week I am sleeping with the lights on again. I'm Alex.
And I'm the Spectre walking around your house. And I am Dan.
Oh god, I wonder what that was. And well, this week we are doing our third annual Halloween episode.
It's been wonderful. Check out volumes 1 and 2. So volume 1 back in 2020.
It was, yeah.
Was more about our personal experiences of the paranormal.
And that's a really good episode, actually, because height of the pandemic, I think we were just allowed to be in the same room as each other, wasn't it?
Only just, and then it was snatched away.
Shortly afterwards.
Very shortly after.
But we had, I'm pointing like the listener can see, we're obviously in the room, well, not obvious, we're in the room together, as is the way, and yeah, we've got the bookshelf, we had the books, didn't we, to keep us socially distanced.
2 metres away.
It was, and it is 2 metres, a long old bookcase.
With the window open, a bit chilly.
I think we did, didn't
October night, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we were ad-libbing, talking about our experiences. I didn't think I had any, and then I recalled one particular fateful night, and that was quite freaky, actually, that episode. I really enjoyed it.
And then volume 2 from last year, we went on a tour around the UK, and I picked up some of the haunted locations. And this week, I wanted to go a bit more local.
Yeah.
So if you're not from Portsmouth or Southsea, or if you are, there's a lot of history here. And a lot of weird, creepy ghosts.
Yes, lots of history. It's for those who don't know, it's a maritime linked city, so lots of shenanigans going on with the Navy, big naval port here, commercial ports, shipping, pirates, vagabonds, undesirables, all of it. So yeah, I'm sure there's some and of course the bombings of the World War, of course the port. So I'm really intrigued. Hopefully I haven't given too much away, Dan.
No,
we'll talk about it in a second, but I'm sure there's an awful lot of bad stuff that's gone on.
I hate to break to you, Alex, but your road is quite haunted as well.
Yeah,
as is Fratton, where I live in Portsmouth.
We do have a personal story that I can probably shed some light on. So I think there's a particular end of this road, and I think I've stayed in that house, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Oof.
But before we get to that, what have you been up to? Been a couple of weeks since we've last spoken, been on the Zoom. What's going on?
I think nothing's really happened in those 2 weeks. We sort of mentioned the last episode, we're in this weird phase now. What come to the end of the year, there's not a lot happening. I am on annual leave next week, so we'll be doing things. Hopefully some stuff to talk about, craft beer, Christmas shopping,
trip down to Brighton maybe.
Yeah, that is possibly on the list. Dirty Burger, date night with the missus, all the good stuff. One thing I have been watching over the few weeks. Have you watched Welcome to Wrexham on Disney Plus?
I haven't. I did see it though. So this is with Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yes.
And Rob
McElhenney, who is from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They buy a football club in Wales.
They do.
Obviously called Wrexham Athletic Football Club. It's just a wonderful documentary, Alex.
Okay.
And I don't know why other football teams don't jump onto this. But, it looks at everything from the top to bottom. So you're not just focusing on the owners. They look at the manager. They look at the players. They look at the fans. They take you around Wrexham. It's just so beautiful.
Right.
It's so beautifully done. It's so good.
Okay.
And I think there probably will be a season 2 because it's just a great way for that football club in particular to get some income.
Well, yeah, and it's Ryan Reynolds who's always entertaining, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he's fantastic.
But he legitimately loves the club, though, doesn't he? Like, it's very random that they've chosen it, but you can tell that he cares, and where he can, he goes to the matches. Where half the bloody owners, even in the PL, the Premier League, they don't go. They just siphon money off, and it offsets their debts or their tax reliefs. They're not interested. No. It's just a business venture. And I get it. But he looks like he actually cares. They
both do.
Yeah.
And whenever they both are stuck at home in America, they stream it. They'll do what they can to watch that football club.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I'm a Portsmouth fan. But now having watched Welcome to Wrexham, and I've almost finished it.
You're a Wrexham fan?
I always am a Wrexham fan. I could never support with all my love. I would never be able to support another club. It's always Portsmouth. I'm blue through and through. But I now find myself looking at the Wrexham results.
Oh, right.
I don't want to give too much away because if you're not familiar or what happened last year for Wrexham, I'm sort of intrigued now to see how far they can go.
Well, they've had a spate of quite good results recently, haven't they?
Yeah.
So perhaps it's all having a positive effect, which is only a good thing, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But after we talk about what you've been up to, Alex, a couple of talking points.
All right.
Yeah. So what have you been up to?
Been abroad.
Again?
Yeah. Last of the year, don't worry. Back to Spain. Valencia. So nice bit of warmth whilst the UK starts to get a little bit cooler. The days drawing. Yeah. Lovely beaches, lovely food, paella.
Love paella.
Sangria. And other delicious things. So yeah, just a long weekend away, and it was lovely.
Not jealous at all.
Well, you should be. It was lovely. But you should get out there. It's a beautiful place, Valencia. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Lovely.
Yes, let's go to outdoors. So you talked about this is Wrexham. This Wrexham?
Yeah.
Brand new at the time of recording, so this is going to date the episode, but it'd be remiss not to mention it. The Peripheral with Chloe Grace Moretz.
Oh,
Amazon Prime. It's really good.
The Peripheral.
Yeah. So it's all the premise is this is in the future, 2070, I think it is, and it's I guess southern states of America. Dust Bowley, maybe. I'm making this St. Alex. What you talk about? That's not. I don't know my American geography. Apologies, listener. You should know that by now. But there's definitely a southern twang, maybe Tennessee type kind of vibe. Anyway, it's in the future. Not a lot of money. A lot of things cost lots of cash, and cash isn't fruitful. And this family are living in this wood, and the brother, they're all older by the way, older during 20s ish, and the brother lives in his caravan next to the house, and he plays professional VR gaming. That's how he gets his money, esports and stuff. But when he finds it difficult to play some of the harder settings or some of the harder tournaments, he lets his sister play, who isn't allowed to. But of course, as you VR, they don't know who's the other side of the controller, right? Yeah. And that's Chloe Grace Moretz. And he's got this new tech that he's been given to try out, and she's the better gamer, so she says, "Oh yeah, I'll play it." And she's transported to a futuristic London, and it's filmed in London, but it's got overlaid, like VR, and it's all very odd and weird. And I don't want to spoil it too much. It will be given away very, very quickly, but it's all about, it's not all as it seems, and while she's transported into what she thinks is the body of an avatar, and it's a game, it's not quite a game, Dan. But the post-production is film worthy. It's phenomenal, really, really good. So Amazon Prime clearly put a lot of money into this, because it is chef's kiss. It looks beautiful. It's a bit edgy, so if you want a sci-fi thriller-esque kind of different take on kind of dystopian future, give it a look, because it's actually quite good. And Chloe Grace Moretz is brilliant. She was in Kick-Ass 2. You know, that was really quite jarring, because when she was filming that, she was, I don't know, at best 11, 12 years old, and she's calling people "see you next Tuesdays" and
cutting off limbs.
Yeah, and it was gruesome and it was bloody and it was sweary, and this little girl who's like kicking ass and calling people dickheads, and it's brilliant. And now she's obviously grown up and she's doing more films and stuff, and she's great. She's great acting talent, and I'm really enjoying it. So, The Peripheral, go and give it a look. It's great.
So at the time of recording, a lot's happened in the superhero world, Alex.
It has.
Ant-Man Quantumania trailer. What is he talking about?
Trailer.
It's a new word, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and all listeners.
Down on the wine, I could see it.
Trailer.
He's sloshing it in a big glass bowl, slowly devouring it through the episode.
So, what were your thoughts?
Quantumania, good. And the reason why I say that, if there's a number of different aspects, it feels like, and it is, the next start of the next phase.
Yeah.
End of phase 4. Phase 5, isn't it?
I think it starts phase 5, because Wakanda Forever, out in a couple of weeks,
that's the ending.
Is the end of phase 4, essentially.
And none of phase 4 made any sense.
I've got a theory behind that.
Yeah, there's quite a few floating around. But as standalone films, there was a lot of disappointments or things that could have done better.
Yeah. And
a lot of that was down to the hype and the trailers. The trailers just gave too much away. And we talked about the issues with Infinity War and Endgame, and just the lofty heights and how do you get back there.
Yeah.
And they will, of course, with Secret Wars and the Kang dynasty. But this trailer doesn't give too much away, but enough that it feels new, fresh, but actually it feels like it's the beginning of something.
And they've just introduced the big bad.
Yes.
Which is Kang, and this is a different Kang to what we got in Loki.
Jonathan Majors, and
he looks and sounds more sinister than the nice little Kang that we had in Loki.
Yeah.
He looks like he's ready to fuck shit up and start killing people.
And no doubt he will. And it's got a really great take on where it's going next.
Yeah.
You can feel as though the stakes are now higher. The other films, the other TV shows, okay. The other one I thought might have had a high stakes was probably Moon Knight at the ending.
Yeah.
But all the other ones, I mean, Thor, we talked about Thor in our review. Go give it a listen, and if you haven't heard it, but you always knew it was going to be alright in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, the guy lost an eye in Infinity War and Endgame, and now it's back and happy days, and he's got his long flowing hair again. So there's only and he's lost half his family, of course.
Yeah.
They'll be murdered. But you always knew that there's going to be a happy ending, because Chris isn't going to go anywhere.
No.
But yeah, this really feels like it's bad times. I don't know whether Scott Lang is going to come out the other end.
Yeah, I don't know.
This version of Scott Lang.
Oh, so you're thinking multiverse?
Maybe.
It's a good shout. I mean, my theory behind Phase 4, of course, we did see the baton pass onto new characters, and people were going to take the mantle in the future. But my theory is Kang likes weapons. So anyone that does read the comics, he likes all sorts of weird and wonderful shit that can fuck people up. When you look at Phase 4, they've already introduced some of those weapons, in my opinion. So you've got the 10 rings in Shang-Chi, you've got Ms. Marvel's gauntlet, you've got the Ebony Blade. I know it got destroyed, but he can time travel.
Yeah.
If he knows where that Ebony Blade is, he's going back, he's going to get it.
Or Dan, he's gone back in time and he's placed them there specifically to allow these events to play out for the Battle World.
Yeah.
And that's what they say in Kang. I haven't read much of Kang in the comics. It's cropped up in a couple of issues I've read in some of the stories, but apparently he's known for dabbling in setting up the long game.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether you're right, Dan. He's gone to certain points of certain films, and yeah, they could be connected. I don't know. It does feel like a Feige move.
Yeah.
You know, where he does a quick cut scene to that part of the film, and we all think it's just a random, harmless, you know, aspect to the film. I think people have called it a MacGuffin. Is that right?
MacGuffin.
But actually, it pays off, and obviously, it's been planned. There could be something in that. Yeah.
It's all got to make sense eventually. It does. At the moment, it just feels like a bit of a cluster
of nothing.
Of nothing.
Yeah.
But it's got to make sense somewhere. Next up is James Gunn and Peter Safran, as of yesterday, co-CEOs of DC Studios.
Left wing. Yeah. Really left field, this one.
Good shout, in my opinion.
100%.
Because DC have obviously tried to catch up with Marvel in the movie universe. Hasn't quite pulled off because they just tend to rush everything, and it just, you know, it just doesn't work out. You've got to play the long game like Marvel did.
Cavill has signed on, though.
As Superman. I saw that, yeah.
Which isn't perhaps the end of the Snyderverse, even though they've said that it's kind of to an end. So I don't know whether that's their multiverse playing a part, and it's a different version of Cavill Superman, but still Superman. But yeah, Cavill's back. And God knows what's going to happen with Ezra Miller's Flash.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy needs help.
He needs to be put in prison.
Well, yeah, for multiple aspects and reasons, but yeah, he needs help. There's no doubt about it. That guy is unwell. And Warner Brothers have obviously put too much money behind that film for it not to be released.
Yeah, 100%.
So how's that going to play out?
Strange. And they also cancelled a film recently, didn't they? Was it Batwoman?
Yeah, Batgirl, I think it was.
Batgirl, yeah. That was
post-production.
Yeah. And that's gone. Completely wiped off the...
There was a mention that was a tax loop as a write-off. So perhaps they didn't think the market was ready for it, or they weren't interested, and they thought, well, we'll just write it off. It does seem a shame, though, because a lot of people put a lot of their lives into that. You know, it's 9 months worth of work, longer, for it not to see the light of day.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I think it'll be in good hands, and you know, James Gunn's never really disappointed in the Marvel universe. I mean, Guardians 2, not as great as the first one. The first one's fantastic, but yeah, we'll see. Can James Gunn match Feige? Be interesting.
We shall see.
And last up, I sent you a link to something very interesting this week. The Marvel Lego Hulkbuster. Yeah,
this is a beast you're showing me before we started recording. Actually, I didn't realise just how big it was.
Comes in at a grand £475 and 4,049 pieces. So you can have a good time building this if you can afford it, of course, in the cost of living.
Yeah, I mean, it looked beautiful.
Yeah. Oh no, it's magnificent. But of course, you sent me a link to a different one.
A cheaper version.
You know, who needs the fun of assembling 4,000 pieces when you can make life more time efficient
and do it in 90 or 70? It's like a 10 quid. It still looks good. You got a little Iron Man minifig that fits into the big armour. It does obviously look childlike compared to the wonders of this £400 monstrosity, but you can always do the cheaper version.
I've got the Hulkbuster from back in 2015, the Age of Ultron Lego set.
Oh yeah,
tiny in comparison, pales, but still nice.
But you know, if you've got a spare half a grand,
I don't.
No, I really don't know who does.
I'm trying to work out how to buy my next shop of carrots, peas, and bananas, apples, all the good stuff, you know.
Not to mention the gas and electric.
Yeah, that as well. And petrol. Had to fill up the tank the other day. I put in 20 quid. Used to get me half tank. It was about quarter, Alex. Quarter tank.
You sneeze, put your foot down the accelerator, and then 20 quid's gone.
Well, the way I drive, 100%. I'm a nutter on the roads. Watch out for me.
Watch out for Dan.
But let's dive in. Let's do it. Let's get spooktacular.
Well, let's draw the curtains. Let's light the candles. Not make it romantic, Dan. Try and set the scene. It may come across quite wrong.
Are we putting a bit of dry ice in the fog machine?
Most definitely.
Get some spooky shit going on.
We've got all manner of scary things going on because we're going to get our spooks on with a local tour around the area.
We are. And we're going to start off with Porchester Castle and Porchester. So it's not on Portsea Island, but just on the outskirts.
A mere stone's throw away, Dan.
It is. Now, it's uncertain of when the castle was actually built, although it was probably in the late 11th century, so it's fucking old. I realise I'm swearing quite a lot in this episode, but that happens.
The wine's flowing. We can forgive you.
Now, this fascinating site overlooks Portsmouth Harbour, and it has been a Roman fortress.
Yes.
A Norman stronghold, and it was even a prisoner of war camp during the Napoleonic Wars.
It was.
Remains quite well preserved. Now, if you climb to the top of the 30 metre, which is roughly 100 feet of the keep, you can take in breathtaking views over the Solent. Have you been up the top?
I haven't, no. Every time we've gone to, well, we went, not every time, went a couple of years ago. We tend to go always around the Christmas period, so go for a Boxing Day walk or something like that,
Yeah.
clear the cobwebs. And last couple of times we've gone, it's been closed. It's English Heritage, I think.
It is,
which is a company that looks after some of these older sites in the UK. If you're not familiar, guys, a bit like a national trust for those who are from the UK. And it's always been closed around that time because they're doing better things than opening up keeps and the likes during Christmas. But I've always wanted to.
It's stunning. So I did a ghost hunt there in, I want to say it was 2018 or 2019. Quite a night on the grand scheme of things. You know, if anyone's listened to our previous Halloween episode, my dad uses dowsing rods. It's long-winded, but you can generally get a message out of the spirits, and he does a grand old job. And we got a message in Latin, but
did you decode it? Do you remember what it
was? Something S Dominus Meus or something like that. It was something very odd. I'd have to go ask my dad again to just find out for the future. But yeah, I mean, neither of us know Latin, and to get a message in Latin is just like mind-blowing.
But that would narrow it down, though, in terms of kind of time period that you're contacting.
Yeah, it would. But we went to the top of the castle, and it's just stunning. You know, at night time as well, you see Portsmouth Harbour all lit up.
Oh, it'd be beautiful, I can imagine.
Wonderful sights.
Probably quite quiet as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's set off on the motorway and it's got some residential areas.
Yeah, I mean, at night it's quite haunting anyway. Just a shame it was a quiet night for us. Now, Portchester Castle has a long history and is a prime site to amass a residential spirit or two.
Oh.
Now, apparently, I mean, this is only quite a short list of spectres or ghosts that haunt the area. The ghost of a crusader is regularly seen around the Norman keep that was added to the Roman fortifications, where reports make it into the papers throughout the 20th century. So not long ago. Among other spectres, a murdered warder with a spear. Don't want to get stabbed by him. A castle custodian doomed to carry a stone upon his back until such time as he reaches the priory at Southwark before dawn. That's quite a trek, Southwark.
As in London?
I think more locally. I'll have to get the old Google Maps on to see how far away Southwark is.
But either way, that's going to be...
One of the forts up at the top of the hill is Southwark.
Depends how fast you're walking, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a tough old slog.
It is. 2 French prisoners who fight an eternal duel with separated halves of scissors.
Oh.
I mean, do you joust out with someone with a pair of scissors or half a scissors?
I guess they're a bit like shivs, right?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's quite gruesome.
Wow.
The wife of the German soldier who drowned herself off the foreshore. So, I mean, I'll try and paint a picture for our listeners that aren't local. But if you go to Portchester Castle, I say it looks over the harbour, but it's very close to the sea, or Portsmouth Harbour. You can literally see like the Spinnaker Tower and the city across the water.
Even when the sea is out, so low tide, it's only a couple of metres. Yeah. And then when it's high tide, obviously it goes straight up to the boundaries. But if with rising, sea levels, the castle is in danger. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. It's between the castle gates and the water's edge. You're talking 4 metres at max. Yeah. So yeah, it's quite close.
And lastly, a gigantic ghostly boarhound. What the fuck's a boarhound?
I can imagine it's a big fuck off dog. My question is though, Dan, from those hall of rogues, for want of a better term, which one would you at least want to come face to face with, and which one would you most be interested in perhaps conversing with? Because of course, as you mentioned, perhaps you've even spoken to someone of that list with the old Latin. But who would you least and who would you most want to speak to?
I think I'd want to speak to the castle custodian, doomed to carry his stone upon his back.
Why? Has he got lots to tell or talk about?
I think there's probably a story there. Why is he carrying a rock up to Southwark? I'm intrigued.
Yeah, that's quite the task.
Yeah, I think the one I'd least want to bump into is the gigantic ghostly boarhound, because I think that probably would scare me to death.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll probably avoid that one.
That's a good shout.
Next up, Alex, we're going really local to where we're recording now.
Oh, right. Well, not too close down.
I'm afraid it is.
Oh, crap.
Portsmouth Cathedral, High Street in Old Portsmouth.
Yeah.
The Anglican Cathedral is one of two cathedral churches in the city, the other being the Roman Catholic Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist, which is about 1 mile north of...
Yeah, as you go in or out the city at the top.
One of the oldest buildings in Portsmouth is the old church of St. Thomas on Portsmouth High Street, which is greatly extended form, became Portsmouth Cathedral. Around the year 1180, Jean de Geisels, I think I've got that right, a wealthy Norman merchant and lord of the manor of Titchfield, gave land in his new town of Portsmouth to the Augustinian canons of Southwark Priory, so that they could build a chapel to honour the martyr Thomas of Canterbury, one-time Archbishop. Now, St. Thomas of Canterbury was assassinated and martyred 10 years earlier. This chapel became a parish church in the 14th century and then was announced as a cathedral in the 20th century.
Okay.
Now, a fascinating story appeared in the parish magazine, apparently describing the apparition of St. Thomas appearing to the archdeacon. In the account, Archdeacon Lovett described seeing a dark, shadowy figure kneeling and praying by the altar. He approached it to see that it was a man hideously injured, with gashes on his arms, and this is quite gross, his skull stoved in.
Oh, man.
The story then goes on to describe the two men praying together in Norman French before the ghost finally disappeared when the light was switched on by an assistant entering the church.
Do we have a date when that happened?
Don't have a date, unfortunately.
Interesting. Because I got married in that church.
Did you?
And I think we signed the register in what was originally the oldest part. Well, it is the oldest part of the church.
It's a beautiful building.
Oh, it's lovely.
Fantastic.
Yellow stone is the newest construction. You know, it's beautiful.
Lots of stained glass windows as well.
Yeah.
Like, beautifully
very
done.
light, very airy, and quite homely. You can tell that there's an very, very old part. You can see it from the outside. I guess the northern part of the structure. And from the outside, you can see just how they complement, but you can see just the different parts of the church bolted on together. You can tell some history, but you know, with some places you get that. Well, I'm preaching to the choir, so to speak, Dan. You get a sense of something. I've never had the sense that there's something afoot or amiss in that church. But perhaps I've got my own affiliation with it. But yeah, that's
maybe not a bad spirit, to be honest.
Look, he's going there to pray, and our man there was praying along with him. So I don't know. Perhaps that helped settle the score, or made him find peace. But
indeed, but another ghost that haunts Portsmouth Cathedral. Let's rewind to OTT episode 2, where we talked about urban legends.
Oh yeah,
Spring Hill Jack, Alex, one of yours.
Yeah, so Spring Hill Jack was first sighted in London, or at least that's what we were talking about in that episode, weren't we? In urban legends, folklore. But what, that character is down here in Portsmouth?
Apparently so. The notorious Victorian super athletic spectre was seen in the 1870s bounding over the tombstones of what is now Portsmouth Cathedral. I mean, sure it's not you after a couple of beers and you're jumping around out there?
No. I'm a sleepy drunk, Dan.
You're one of those. You're like me.
Yeah. So
Never
after a couple of pints, it's time for bed. So no, if anything, I'll be on the nearby benches getting a shut-eye. Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's
interesting, that one.
hideous.
Yes, indeed. On to the next one. Again, we're only going up the road here. The HMS Victory and the historic dockyard.
Oh, yes.
So we'll start off with the HMS Victory.
Yes, I've forgotten about. I don't know how you can forget, but going back to what I said at the top of the episode about how it's a naval city. Yes, there have been plenty of mishaps and misgivings and sightings in the old dockyard, haven't there?
Yeah.
Have you done a tour there?
Yes.
You haven't you?
Yeah. I didn't do so much a tour, but we walked around it. We went on to the Warrior, the Victory. You can see the remains of the Mary Rose.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet actually since I've moved it before. I saw it before,
Yeah,
when it was an old. When it was what was the house before? Because they moved it, didn't they? But anyway, I saw it before when it was behind glass. You couldn't go in there because I was spraying it with wax or resin.
Yeah.
Well, now the last 5-10 years have finished that, and you can walk. You can't walk in and around it, but you can walk next to it, can't you?
Yeah, and much like the Victory, they've emptied the bay now of water, and it's all propped up by like poles and stuff.
Yeah,
it's done so brilliantly, so it doesn't like rot away, and we can keep that history together. It's a wonderful place if you ever want to learn about the history of Portsmouth or of that ilk. Let's start with the HMS Victory. Now, a bit of history. It's a 104-gun first-rate ship of the line of the Royal Navy.
Yes.
Ordered in 1758, and it was laid down in 1759 and launched in 1765. She is best known for her role as Lord Nelson's flagship at the Battle of Trafalgar on the 21st of October 1805. So a lot of history here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
An article in the London Metro newspaper in 2018, we'll put a link in the description below, Alex.
Okay.
I'll send that over to you later.
Please do.
Described how Tony Ferguson was working on the HMS Victory, where he claims to have seen a ghost. Not any old ghost, but that of Fanny Nelson.
Excuse me?
Fanny Nelson.
Okay.
I'm trying not to laugh myself. He just looked at me. He had this cheeky grin on his face.
As always.
The wife of Admiral Lord Nelson.
Oh, right.
Don't laugh too much. He might come and haunt us.
Yeah, definitely don't want that. So
we don't need that in our lives.
I'm not mocking poor Fanny. Definitely not.
He says he didn't see anything with his naked eye, but when he watched the footage back, he saw a ghostly figure of a woman walk through the upper chamber before disappearing through a wall.
Oh, man.
Yes. There's footage which does show a female figure in a periodic dress moving on the deck, but there is nothing to substantiate his claim that it walked through a wall. Now in this link you'll be able to find the video.
Sorry, Dan. Is it not enough that there's a fucking shadowy figure in a Victorian dress that they have to say it has to go through a wall? Surely, I mean, the dockyard is a pretty secure place. And I say that because it's got some pretty old shit in it.
Yes.
But it's also within the actual MOD grounds.
It is, yeah. It's well guarded.
They've got guys with guns on the front, and I'm not even joking. Like, there's very few places in this country that has armed police. Portsmouth Dockyard is one of them. So if someone I guess after hours, right? These things usually happen at darkness.
Yeah. So
someone's got past these guys with guns. The scale, I don't know how you scale the wall and safely land at the other side. You just don't do it because it's concrete. So if you manage to do all that and then go onto the boat in Victorian dress, I mean, why would you do that?
Yeah. So
legit, surely there's something behind that, because unless it's someone who's working there, and again, I can't see why they would disrespect, the history. Surely that's enough.
Yeah.
Why do you have to have someone corroborate going through the walls?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Talking to the dockyard before I sort of carry on, I did an investigation on the Warrior back in 2016. And interestingly, we actually had someone called Jack the Painter come through.
Oh, I think I remember you mentioned about this, yeah.
Yeah, it got downplayed because apparently it's a well-known story, but me and my dad, me and my brother, we didn't know anything about this fella or any of the history behind him. But he was a bit of a mercenary, so he'd go around. He'd burn down like rope stores and God knows what in the dockyards. He ended up getting hung from a mast outside the dockyard, and then they sort of hanging up the body to show you, people
what's happened.
Don't do it because this is what will happen.
Bloody hell.
But yeah, it got downplayed. But his name was James Aitken, and all the information we got out of that experience was all accurate. Born in 1752, died in 1777. Very fascinating. Very angry Jacobite.
I'm not surprised. He got murdered.
Wow, that's what you get for burning down rope stores and people's dockyards.
I know, but still.
You shouldn't do it.
Make your untimely end. But yeah, that's just a mere stone throw away from the walls.
It is. In the dockyard also, there are other reported spirits. Now, there is an account by a level-headed security guard who encountered something unusual on his first night in the restricted part of the dockyard.
Oh.
Which has high security, and as you mentioned, Alex, it's on the Ministry of Defence land.
Yeah.
He talked about walking near the Georgian rope house when he saw a figure in the distance.
Oi, oi.
It looked at him, as it does, that's what these spirits do, and quickly walked down an alleyway. He followed and saw it turn left. When he got to the spot, he found the place it had walked had once had a doorway that was now bricked up. Very weird.
So what, are we suggesting to Mr. Aitken, who perhaps was, or just a random? Yeah, which is a rope house.
But say, with sort of how old some of this land is around here and the history, it could be anything. You just don't know. All these weird rogues, merchants, pirates. Wonderful stuff. Yeah. You can feel the spirits as you walk up the streets of Old Portsmouth.
You can.
Moving away from the island, we're going back on top of the hill. Let's visit Fort Widley on Portsdown Hill.
Great place, actually. I've been there a couple of times. During the summer, they've got a grassy knoll at the back. Not to shoot precedents from. That's a niche reference there. But they usually have like events or archery or something. Yeah. And it's a great place for family, contrary to what you're about to tell us.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I've done plenty of paranormal investigations up in Fort Widley, and there is some weird stuff there.
Did we do archery there?
I think that's...
Was it Widley or was it Nelson?
Purbrook.
Oh, Purbrook. Okay.
I didn't go to that because I was probably working at Tesco at the time.
Oh, mate, it was brilliant.
Did you go with Chooks?
I did. We went. All of us went there, and it was really random actually.
We locked up. Yeah.
We should do something like that again though, because it was indoors, one of the old halls of the fort, and we did archery.
Yeah, you can do like BB guns and all sorts of it.
Rock climbing, got loads of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of history out there. So you got Fort Widley, you got Fort Purbrook, Fort Nelson, and I think you got Fort Southwark, which I mentioned earlier.
Right.
But what people don't know, these forts don't face out towards the island. It actually faces the other way to stop attacks coming in towards Portsmouth.
They do.
Which, fascinating fact for you. Now, Fort Widley is one of the forts built on top of Portsdown Hill, as I mentioned, and it was built between 1860 and 1868 on the recommendation of the Royal Commission on the Defence of the United Kingdom. As I mentioned, it was designed along with the other Palmerston forts atop Portsdown to protect Portsmouth from attack from the rear.
Yes.
Beneath it is a massive network of tunnels.
There is.
Ever been down there?
No, for the reasons that you're about to bestow upon us, I'm sure, Dan.
Very dark, very mazy. I'm sure they all lead to each other somehow, somewhere. Many not completely mapped, and there are stories of people getting lost down there. Does that surprise you?
It doesn't. I'm just trying to put myself in a situation where I'd ever do this.
You wouldn't?
And I don't think I ever would. Because obviously you're not going to be left alone down on your own, but
no.
The mind... I'm not going to downplay what you're about to tell us, but the mind does play tricks when you're heightened state.
It does, yeah.
You've got not a lot of space and room. There's no natural light. You're probably, no doubt, underground by a good couple of 100 metres, or not 100 metres, but a good couple of metres. Easily you can get lost. lose your way,
Yeah.
disorientated. I don't think there's any feasible reason why I'd want to willingly go in there.
You're right, because as soon as you turn the lights off down those tunnels, everything's pitch black, and the rest of your senses sort of heighten. So your ears are always on alert for something, and I don't know, it's weird. I suppose your senses, like your nose, you start to smell things differently. It's really weird down there. It's very creepy.
Yeah.
There are several accounts of ghosts to be found down there, Alex. Now, including reports of being followed by the presence of a tall, dark and shadowy figure with heavy footsteps, who was sometimes reported as carrying a lamp. I can't say I've experienced said figure, nor a figure carrying a lamp.
Question. Apart from the values that I'm getting quite deep here, the values that we put onto that situation, why would what you just described always have to be ominous? Could it not be a positive spirit?
Oh, absolutely.
To guide people or something? Because we are drilled in to have that particular image in our mind that we're talking about now, and I've got a bit of goosebumps. So it's obviously quite an image in our mind that we conjure, which is of worry, concern, threat. But conceivably, it could actually be quite the opposite. If you believe in those things and those things happened, it could be someone replaying their life and they've done that event that's meaningful to them and they're continuing to do it, or they could guide the people that are lost. It doesn't always have to be bad, I guess.
I mean, I've done so many of these paranormal investigations. In fact, and funnily enough, I'm doing one on Friday up down in Dorchester. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of the spirits we get come through are good.
Yeah.
There's always a good positive spin behind their stories and stuff, but every now and again you do get a bad egg. But you can't control what comes through, and if you do feel threatened, you just close that session down. But yeah, I mean, I think you're right in that perception that because of what we're talking about, people automatically think it's something bad.
Yeah.
It's not always that case. I say generally 9 times out of 10 we've always had something good come through.
There you go.
But that's why you always do it with the experts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're always well looked after on these things.
I've been meaning to ask, last couple of years, Ouija boards.
Not a fan.
Is that a thing? Is it just for teenagers to muck around and do at sleepovers and the rest of it? Is it legit as a tool? Is it too mainstream? Is it what's the deal with that?
I'm not a fan of them. Because generally when you do it with people you don't know, I find I don't trust people. Okay,
because they can influence
it. They can influence it or manipulate it. So I don't ever really get on the Ouija boards. Maybe not the right question to ask me, per se, but I'll try and ask people that do Ouija boards or into that, and I'll try and come up with an answer. But yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of them at all.
Because they are open to influence and to
I like using all like the electronic equipment, so like EMF readers and
the scientific method.
Yeah. You can get like it's called a REM pod. So it's like a round disc. It's got like a little aerial that comes out of it. Anything goes near it, it makes the little lights around it flash up.
Oh, so you can see the direction.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite cool, and it buzzes.
Just be absolutely clear, because of where I live, you're never stepping foot in this house with any of that stuff. I do not want to know. I've been in this house long enough that I'm happily coexisting, I'm sure, with whatever's around here. So if you start mucking around with that equipment and telling me otherwise, I'm not going to be happy.
You're safe, because I would never do it in my own house either.
No, don't shoot me on the doorstep.
And plus my dad's got all the equipment and he can do whatever he wants in his house with it. Yeah, he's not coming to my house.
You wouldn't want to know, would you?
No.
Or would you? Would you?
Well, funnily enough, right, so when we first got into this stuff, my dad started dabbling around with all this equipment in their house. And he found out there was a spirit called Sadie that would sort of come in and out.
I remember this story.
I think I might have told this story before in Volume 1, but just to recap. So I bought my dad a spirit box for his birthday that year, and what a spirit box is, it's like a radio, and it goes through the channels backwards, so it's like a sort of noise. White noise, but it's all cut up. So whatever you hear has to come over those.
But it's scanning the frequencies, I guess, it's just doing it.
As it's doing.
Okay, yeah.
So whatever comes through, so if it's like hello, it will have to overlay the... So anyway, this thing turns up, and I was like, well, I better check it works. I bought it off eBay. I mean, back then, I didn't really trust people on eBay, but yeah, this thing turns up, brilliant. Put the batteries in, turn it on, Sadie, and I was like, what? Fuck that. Turn it off. But in the box it goes, and wraps up for me. Yeah, Dad, we're going on a ghost adventure this week. Here's your birthday present. Yeah, no.
Does he know? Have you told him?
Oh, he knows the story, yeah. But
and he hasn't since tried to find Sadie, or?
No, I don't think so.
Were you telling me that your brother was mentioning that he used to play with a girl, or knew the name Sadie when he was a little boy, or am I making this up? Maybe it's a fantastic story I've made up.
No, I think that was me as a child. God, I can't remember the spirit's name now.
But
yeah, volume 1 though, if people want to listen to that story.
But
yeah,
I just
get your horn on. If you're carving your pumpkin and you finish this episode, volume 1 and 2. I mean, volume 1 especially.
Yeah, volume 1 is very, very good. Smash through them. Wow.
We do love a good left field episode, don't we?
Oh yeah. I just wouldn't do that anywhere that I frequent because yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
not for me.
Back to Fort Whitley. I know we sort of digressed, but we've kept on topic.
Okay,
which is good.
So yes, figure, heavy-footed, lamp.
Yeah. Next up, we've got a little drummer boy who died after falling down the stairs and now wanders the complex.
Oh,
quite a well-known spirit, apparently. Never come through on those investigations that I've been on, but well documented from other guests. Another of several apparitions is the White Lady. She is the ghost of a woman said to have been strangled to death by her husband.
Oh.
And I feel like I have had an experience with the husband. So we did a spirit box session, and what's really weird is I've recorded on my phone at the time. I had an iPhone 4 and an iPhone 5, something like that. I recorded the session. Now throughout the session, the spirit box, there was this guy, like, he was telling us to fuck off. He was laughing, and when I listened back to it the next day, on my phone it picked up a woman screaming and crying, which is really weird because we didn't hear that at the time. I might have to try and pick it out and...
oh, mate.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'll put it on the socials, but if anyone's interested, reach out to me and I'll send it over to you. It's quite harrowing. It's really horrible. And another link, which we'll put in the description, a supposed paranormal event was also captured by the Spirit Team TV show. Now, they claim that one of their crew was shoved by a ghost in the fort. You can make up your own mind by looking at the footage on the Daily Mirror's website.
Well, it's a Daily Mirror, and we've talked about these programmes before, haven't we?
Yeah, Most Haunted can get in the sea,
yeah.
Load of garbage, contrived rubbish, but yeah, make your own mind up. Go check it out. So on social media, Alex, I reached out to people and asked them, what locations should I look at around Portsmouth and Southsea? First up, we got Kelly. She says you should look into some of the stories from Groundlings Theatre, or the old beneficiary school. There's definitely a haunty vibe there, even before you know the tales.
Is that Portsea?
Yeah, so it's in the PO1, so I think it's just off of Queen Street.
Yeah. Now I used to have a friend who lived a couple of roads down from there, and I used to walk past this town hall. I think it was, or is now. On the way, and it's definitely got a vibe about it.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. Before you even say it, you just look at it and go,
yeah, something about it.
Some bad stuff's happened. You can just feel it.
I mean, I did it back in 2014 in the summer. It was quite a good experience. So I set up a load of trigger objects to see if anything would move. So I said to my dad, like, we were sort of winding down for a break, let's go check on the trigger object, see if anything's moved. So we go into what is essentially the changing room, where they have all the costumes and stuff. So you got all the racks, all the costumes, and we could hear someone like moving the costumes along the rail. So you could hear the shh.
Oh man!
So my dad went, "Hello, anyone there?" And of course it stopped. So we've gone along all the rails. There's no one in there. So there's definitely something there. I mean, never experienced anything bad, but
I probably shouldn't ask this question, but I'm going to anyway, because I'm sure if I'm thinking it, someone else will. Why does it always happen? Why is it that you're drawn to a particular part of a room or an area in a building, and you know something has happened or something's moving, and then when you try and interact, it stops? Why would it stop? Because if are they wanting to interact, or are they messing around? I guess you don't know their intentions, and that's the whole point of I guess, the topic of what we're talking about. But it always seems like it stops,
doesn't it? Yeah, it's weird.
Because surely if you're trying to communicate, you continue doing more. But I guess it depends on why you're doing it, and I guess the positive or the negatives that sits behind it, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, I've heard of people like having experiences where they have conversations with people where the spirit knocks, so like 1 knock for yes, 2 for no.
Yeah,
I've never been in that scenario, which is quite bizarre. But to sort of answer the question as well, why are we drawn to certain rooms? I tried to go in blind, so I don't want to know anything about the place, or any of the history or any of the characters. But you always get this vibe when you go into a room.
Yeah.
So you can go for all the different rooms, you won't feel anything. But there's all of a sudden you'll get this energy, and it sort of feels like you've got goosebumps along your back, and the hairs on the back of your neck are on end. And let's investigate here. Sometimes nothing will happen. Nothing will happen at all, and that energy will just drop off. And other times you'll get some really weird shit.
Yeah.
But yes, back to the Groundlings. 42 Kent Street in Portsmouth, PO1. Built in 1784, so again, that gives you an idea of how old this building is.
Pretty old.
As the home of Portsea Beneficiary Society and the Beneficial School. It is a Grade 2 listed building, remained a place of education until 1962, and is recognised as one of the first purpose-built free schools in the UK, and by introducing a girls' school in 1837.
Okay.
It became the first co-educational schools in the country. It's a rich history of this building.
Yeah.
As a meeting room for the Beneficial Society, who counted Prince Albert and Lord Palmerston amongst their list of patrons, the Society held notable events in the building, including Strauss conducting an orchestration in front of Queen Victoria, and also a naval dance where Charles Dickens' mother first went into labour with Charles.
Oh, wow.
Resulting in her being quickly rushed home by her husband. Now, as Groundlings Theatre, they produce 70 to 80% of their yearly programme in-house, with a mixture of both professionals and amateur shows that both entertains the community and highlight its grassroots talent. So a wonderful place.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in there? I don't know if we just
No,
that.
walked past it, never been in.
It's a really nice building, actually. It's very warm, welcoming. I forget what I'm about to tell you, but it is really nice in there. The drama school is the best value for money in the area, providing unprejudiced opportunities for both young and old. They are supported by a solid volunteer base, provide numerous work placements, and continue to provide safe and secure opportunities, allowing people to follow their interests, upskill themselves, or be assisted into returning to paid employment.
But
they also have 10 resident ghosts to look after. Reports of unexplained smells, children laughing, a girl called Emily and a boy called George. Now, the ghost of little George usually seen on the staircase, and Emily in the classroom. Laughing children have been heard upstairs, not to mention the cheeky poltergeist, who has been known to play tricks by moving objects, including people. And then I've put personal experience, which I've already talked about.
Yeah.
So definitely, I think poltergeist activity in there. And when we did try to do the rods, we just got messed around the entire time, trying to get a clear message of who this person was or what they were doing there. Couldn't get anything. So I think it was probably that cheeky little poltergeist messing around. And next up, I think this is the last one, and I've saved the best till last. Now, this was recommended on Instagram by Lux and Luke S. Wimring Manor.
Rings a bell. I think we talked about this. Was it last year we talked about this?
I think we may have.
Yeah.
Old Wimmering Lane, it's on the outskirts of Portsmouth again, so I think it's not near Paulsgrove, PO6.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Wimmering Manor is a Grade 2 listed building, which is the oldest building in Portsmouth.
Oh.
It was the Manor House of Wimmering, a settlement mentioned in the Domesday Book in 1086.
Oh, wow.
So it's that old. It is first recorded in 1042, when it was owned by King Edward the Confessor. After the Battle of Hastings, it became the property of King William the Conqueror until 1084. Its cellars, which still exist today, are of Saxon origin, and there is even archaeological evidence of Roman habitation of the site.
Pretty old.
It was once at the centre of a large estate stretching out over the Hampshire countryside, down towards a lonely and desolate shoreline, along which a solitary road stretched between the local villages of Cosham and Fareham.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of Wimmering Manor dates from the 16th century, with a spacious wood-panelled hall dominated by 2 barley sugar twist balusters of the Elizabethan era. Reflecting the deep religious tensions of the times, the house even contains 2 priest holes.
Oh.
There is a personal experience in this as well, one of the priest holes. So we did this in 2016, I think. Every time I've done Wimmering Manor, it's always pretty quiet when I'm about to dive into some of the spirits that haunt there. But we all took it in turn to go in with a voice recorder into one of the priest holes and ask questions.
So a priest hole, is it kind of what you might guess? Is it where they would go to stay to prayer in like a, I don't know, private room? What's the purpose of priest hole?
I think the priest hole is also where like you'd go to confess.
Oh, okay.
And all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we went into the priest hole with a voice recorder, and you ask questions, but in between you sort of leave a long pause.
Yep.
Now my brother went in there, and of course, you don't ever hear anything personally because it's probably on like a completely different frequency. He comes out, we play it back as we did in turn, and I can't remember what question he asked, but there was a whisper. He went, "Help me!"
Oh no!
It was fucking creepy. It's so weird. I'm not expecting listeners to sort of take this by truth. Take it as a pinch of salt. If you believe in this stuff, then great. If you don't, it's fine. I won't judge you. In its later years, the manor was bought by Portsmouth City Council to prevent it being demolished. The remaining garden was sold to developers, meaning it is now fenced in by a 20th century housing estate. And it was then leased to the Youth Hostels Association. More lately, it fell into such disrepair that in 2013 it was sold by the council to the Wimmering Manor Trust for £1. A single £1, along with a start-up grant to restore it. So you could, for £1, they essentially got more back, which is mental.
Yeah.
The manor has collected numerous ghost stories, to such an extent it was proclaimed by David Scanlon, founder of the Hampshire Ghost Society, to be Hampshire's most haunted house.
Wow.
Plenty of weird stuff here, Alex. So, as I say, I'll save the best till last. First, we've got the lady in the violet dress. Now, this apparition came to visit the joint owner of the house, Thomas Noley's Parr, in 1917. Thomas, reputed to be a direct descendant of Catherine Parr, the fortunate queen who survived King Henry VIII, owned the house with his aunt, Mrs. Nightingale. One night, he woke to find a figure dressed in blue at the foot of his bed.
Oh no.
You shit yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
This lady in violet, he recognised as the spirit of a cousin who had died in the same year. This was not a frightening encounter, apparently. She stood and chatted with Thomas for a while, seeming to want to spend a little time catching up before adding, "Well, Tommy dear, I must leave you now as we are waiting to receive Aunt M."
Uh-oh.
At this point, she vanished into thin air. The following morning, Thomas received a telegram informing him that his Aunt Em had died during the night.
Oh, man.
That's fucking creepy. And I hope this never happens to me.
Well, now you've said it.
Now, the next questionable character is Reckless Roddy and his panicked horse. The dastardly Sir Roderick of Porchester, local folklore tells us, lived during the Middle Ages. One night, the lecherous and wicked knight heard that a newlywed bride had been left alone in the house, while her husband was called away to deal with an emergency.
Oh.
Filled with reckless and violent lust, Sir Roddy rode to the manor to rape the solitary bride. What a prick. Thankfully, her husband returned home and chased Sir Roderick out of the house, cutting him down with his sword as he attempted to make his escape on horseback. In panic, the horse bolted. It is said that from time to time the ghostly sound of a panicked horse's hooves can still be heard clattering in the lane outside. It's quite a narrow road if you've ever been down there. Opposite the house is actually a church. Very creepy.
So the horse bolted, it escaped. So my question is, why would the spirit of a horse be there after it survived? And
I mean, at this point, why not?
Yes, quite. Yeah.
There have been various testimonies to the eerie sound of the ghost horse galloping away, including one during World War II, and another from 1960 in which the youth hostel warden claimed to have heard it. Though you might think that he would have learnt his lesson, the cruel Sir Roderick is said to appear if a newlywed enters the house.
Oh no.
Don't get married and then go to Wimmering Manor.
It's not a place to have your honeymoon, perhaps.
Absolutely not. There's other nicer places along here, I'm sure you can attest to, Alex, to having your wedding party or whatnot.
Crikey.
Next up, we got this is really questionable, the grizzly-handed nun.
Oh.
This apparition has been seen on many occasions over the years. Stories abound of hearing a choir of nuns singing and chanting, a weird sound that presages the sighting of the spectre of the nun, who appears, hands dripping with blood, on the stairs to the attic. I've been in the attic and it is very creepy. Didn't have the nun come through when we've done a paranormal investigation, but we had a woman that denies being dead.
Okay.
She sets all the equipment off, it goes mad, and then it just disappears. It's weird. One local legend claims that the room above, known as Noah's Ark, is where the nuns performed abortions on members of their order who had formed illicit relationships with nearby monks. The bodies, it is claimed, were buried in the garden. To date, no infant bones have been found there.
Oh man.
So,
who's recording this stuff?
I don't know, but there's some very questionable spirits in this house. And I think, lastly, we've got Jane Austen's brother, Sir Francis Austen. So Francis was a naval officer who is buried at Wimmering Church, so just over the road. This ghost does not appear to be a particularly scary one, although one report says he smiled at one of the staff. Lord knows why he did that, but at least his hands weren't dripping with blood when he did it. Obviously referring to the grizzly nun. But just to mention a little bit about Sir Francis Austen, he was in a few battles and wars, including the French Revolutionary Wars, the Napoleonic Wars, and the War of 1812.
Oh wow.
Fun fact, he died at the age of 91 on the 10th of August 1865 in Widley.
That's a good innings. So you see a lot of action.
Yeah. So that rounds up for our local tour of, well, lots of history and some questionable spirits.
Yes.
But on to the listener. So this was sent in by Kelly, who's previously been involved in some of our Halloween episodes. We got the footage as well, but there wasn't really anything to the footage. It's more the sound. Now, she says before sending the video, I was watching TV not long ago. Got up when I heard the noise. It was so loud I could almost feel the breath on my ear. I thought it was one of the cats behind the sofa, though none have ever made that noise before or since, so I stood up and said, "What's going on?" But then realised that 2 of my cats were sat in front of me. Equally freaked out, the other cat was outside. I checked the whole area, even in the cupboard behind me, but couldn't work out what it was. It was so loud, and I've never heard a noise like it. In person, it sounded like a small child making silly noises, but it definitely wasn't mine, as they were all at their dad's house.
Now, Kelly, there's a couple of things I think you need to remark on this with Kelly. So Kelly had an experience, the first episode, 2020.
Yes, because her and her other half, Paul, got involved and sent us some stories in.
Yeah.
Good listens, actually.
Very good. Is this the same house that relates to?
I think it is. Some weird stuff goes on in there.
Yeah, and there's some calling of people and no one's called each other and it's all very odd. My question is, Kelly, why are you still in that home? Because, I mean, obviously Clea doesn't bother her and I think I got that vibe. I might be way off, but she would have moved out by now if she was. So obviously doesn't worry her too much, but it wouldn't be for me, Dan. Like, I was a faint of heart, and if that, knowing the history of what she's been through, anecdotally, she can count the experiences quite vividly on both hands, probably. I'd be out there like a flash. But clearly, she's not, I guess, threatened or worried by it too much. It's just an experience.
I'd always say that, you know, if it's not there to hurt you or freak you out, it's probably a friendly ghost, maybe an old relative or family friend sort of passing through. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you about all the equipment and all that stuff, but yeah.
And in the video, is it Christmas time? Is that right? And there's a Christmas tree in the corner, and you can see that she's obviously alarmed, and she does. It's like you'd hear someone walking in the door, and you go, "Oh, who's that?" or "Who's back?" And legit, it's There's some kind of something that's caused for her to turn around and actually think there's something closer than it was.
Yeah, it would make you get up and look around for sure. But if you ever experience anything like that, and it's probably not there to hurt you, so. Now away from ghostly stuff, Alex, we can lift the mood. We'll lift the mood.
Okay.
We've been challenged by another listener for a future episode. We don't get this often, and this is actually quite nice to get a recommendation for a future episode.
Okay.
Because we've always got a list. We're always well prepared.
There is always a waiting list as long as Dan's arm, if not longer, where we always mean to get round to stuff, but these bloody films keep on getting released, getting in the way.
Indeed. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple on the list that still date back to 2018 when we first started doing this. But yeah, so let's go over to Dan. He tweeted us an idea for a future episode or two. The original Mighty Ducks trilogy, and then the excellent Mighty Ducks Game Changers on Disney+.
Oh, right. Mighty Ducks is in the hockey films.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've seen the first one. That's a proper feel-good film.
Yeah.
Usually on at Christmas or Easter or something. Channel 4, usually in the UK, that it's on. It's that kind of thing, full of adverts. Who is the main guy in the first one? In that Dan's quickly looking, I guess, up at IMDb as I'm talking. Try and buy him time if you haven't guessed, listener. And he's done a spate of those kind of comedy type feel-good films during the mid to late 80s. Is it come up, Dan?
I've got Emilio Estevez, Joshua Jackson.
Yeah, Joshua Jackson, I think.
Yeah.
He's your typical middle-aged, semi-good looking white guy who's trying to get a bunch of kids together to try and make good and to live vicariously through them, and he learns a lesson and they all rally around him at the end, and they are quite nice films. but I haven't seen any others, and it's been a while since I've seen the first one, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that sounds like a good challenge.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
I'm up for that. Let's give it a go. Future episodes, we'll probably look at doing She-Hulk, do a review of that.
Good ending. I think the finale was... It's been lauded as some of the best, or one of the best of the series.
Kevin's
I don't disagree.
A fucking robot.
Yeah.
Fucking robot.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to discussing it with you, Alex, and getting your thoughts. Wakanda Forever, it's not far out now.
No, just merely round the corner.
Looking forward to another On The Go episode.
Yes.
Are you emotionally prepared?
No, and I don't think really anyone is,
No.
to be honest. I'd be interested to see how they handle it. And there's a part of me that thinks there's a lot going on with Chadwick Boseman that doesn't really need then Namor.
Yeah.
It doesn't really need then Ironheart. But a lot of these Phase 4 films are purposefully set up to launch, I guess, Phase 5 and beyond.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that those things will lead us on to the next spin-offs. But I do worry there's a lot going on.
Yeah. We'll have to see. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and then the big review. And then, of course, we've been challenged by Dan, so we'll probably see that maybe before Christmas.
Yeah.
But if anyone's got any ideas for a Christmas episode, we're all ears.
Yes, I mean, we'll do our usual Christmas Day effort. Looking forward to that. Dan will no longer have to, sadly, dress up as Queenie, but you'll now be crowned the king.
Yeah.
So it'll be a change of disguise, but we'll wheel Dan out in his royal attire again for the big day. But yeah, we usually do Christmas themed episodes. So we've done films before, which is really good fun. One of my favourite episodes. So yeah, if you've got an idea about what we want to do at Christmas, then let us know.
Yeah, definitely. But that rounds up for another week. Oh no, wait, shut up, Dan. I haven't put the socials in.
You haven't, Dan?
No. Well, if you want to get involved, listener,
please.
You can completely ignore me seeing this episode out early. You can get in touch with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, which is @OnTheTopicPod. And if you follow any of those socials, there's a link to Anchor where you can leave us a voice message like some of our previous listeners.
Oh, yes.
And we've got WordPress and YouTube, Alex.
Yes, on the topic podcast.wordpress.com, all lowercase on one word. On there are our ugly mugs, our bios, links to affiliate content, website, morbid and mundane, lovely t-shirts, beanies. It's nearly time to grab out the beanie, Dan. Weather's turning. Can't wait for that because we've got lovely clothes. Joey does. On there you can stream all of our back catalogue all the way back to the weekly roundup.
Yeah.
And you can sign up to our newsletter, so if you want to be notified of when a episode is released, then you can do so there. And then, of course, yes, YouTube. So give us a search. You'll be in the links in the description below. Smash the subscribe button and notification bell, because every Thursday, probably until mid-Feb, March, where we catch up, we'll be dropping 2 episodes a week.
Yeah. So
we'll be going through back catalogues, uploading OTT 1 all the way through to what is now 60.
Yeah, Jesus.
And yeah, you can stream and listen to the podcast there as well. So there's no excuse, guys. You cannot miss an episode. One or another, we've got you covered in every single possible medium and fashion possible.
But if you listen to us on your favourite podcast app or whatever it is, you might not need the YouTube.
No.
But that's fine. We're just becoming more accessible for you to hear us.
Indeed.
In making your day better.
Hopefully.
I hope. But anyway, Alex, I'm going to go and jump around some graves up the road. Oh. I've been Dan.
And I'm going to go and walk down some alleyways and into some old doorways that don't exist. I'm Alex.
And we'll see you next time.